Surfing looks effortless. Clean waves, smooth lines, and split-second decisions that can define a heat. But behind the beauty of the sport lies something far more contentious: judging. Because in competitive surfing, scores decide everything. Progression, prize money, reputation, all of it rests in the hands of a judging panel. So what happens when a surfer believes those scores are wrong, or worse, biased? It is a question that cuts to the heart of fairness in sport. Unlike timed races or measurable distances, surfing is subjective. Judges assess style, difficulty, flow, and innovation. Even with detailed criteria, interpretation plays a role. And where there is interpretation, there is always the potential for disagreement. We have seen controversial decisions before, scores that surprise commentators, frustrate athletes, and honestly, ignite debate among fans. In the heat of competition, there is rarely time to challenge them in any meaningful way. But can those decisions be taken further? Well, in certain circumstances, yes. Most professional surfing competitions operate under strict rules and governance structures. These often include internal appeal mechanisms. However, those mechanisms are usually quite limited. They may allow for correction of clear administrative errors, but not a full rejudging of performance. That is where arbitration enters the conversation. Arbitration is a form of private dispute resolution. It allows parties to challenge decisions outside of the immediate competition framework. In theory, a surfer could attempt to argue that a scoring decision was so flawed or so procedurally unfair that it warrants independent review. But in practice, it is not straightforward. Sporting bodies are given a wide margin of discretion when it comes to judging. Courts and arbitration panels are generally reluctant to interfere with subjective decisions unless there is clear evidence of bad faith, bias, or a failure to follow proper procedure. In other words, it is not enough to say the score was harsh. You would need to show something more: a demonstrable error, a breach of the rules, or conduct that undermines the integrity of the judging process itself. Even then, timing is critical. Challenges often need to be made quickly, and in accordance with the rules of the competition. Miss that window, and the opportunity may be lost. At Blackstone Solicitors, we understand how high the stakes can be. For athletes, these decisions are not abstract, they shape careers. While arbitration can offer a route to challenge, it is not a guaranteed solution. The threshold is high, and the process requires careful legal strategy. Surfing may be about freedom and flow. But when it comes to judging disputes, the reality is far more structured. And sometimes, the biggest wave to navigate is not in the ocean. Blackstone Solicitors, bringing clarity and control to complex sporting disputes.